we have Dr. Pine with us today, and I have an office, so how about we go in there and meet privately?
As long as I can video record.
Sounds good. Good, good. Will you have time to talk a little bit after? Or you gotta keep it moving? I can just call it mobile. Right?
Please.
Oh, thank you. I have till...
Oh, 12:30? Okay, thank you.
Good to see you, Mr. Garza. Take care.
So that works.
So, Mr. Garza, we have a limited amount of time, just to let you know. The primary goal today was for you to be able to get your medical records.
What about my health care, Dr. Pine?
So what I have, I mailed you some information about mental health clinics. Did you receive that?
No. So I don't understand. Are you saying you emailed me?
No, I mailed you U.S. Postal Service mail.
No, I don't believe so.
You didn't? Okay, I'll put, then I'll
I'm curious as to why you didn't email me since 6/24 to follow up on, the results, because we had on 6/24 you were here. You led me to believe that you were going to get me, medical care ASAP, immediately.
Okay,
This is the first time, we've had a chance to speak.
Well, I
sorry.
tried to telephone you. There was no response to your phone, and rather than email information that could be considered sensitive or regarding your desire for mental health purposes, I did a more secure way of mailing it per the U.S. Postal Office at the advisement of the privacy officer for my division.
And when did you get this advice, and when did you mail this?
I would have mailed it within a couple weeks after.
A couple of weeks afterwards.
One of the things, Mr. Garza, that I was able to get for you from my conversations with our privacy officer, I know that one of the concerns that you had was access to your records from San Francisco General Hospital, which I know that Sergeant Kruger here had been trying to work with you a lot and kind of problem solving around some of those logistics.
Can we clarify before you continue down this rabbit hole? You mean the medical records that I'm entitled to get, that I sunshined them for, that I didn't have to sign a Hipaa release according to Ms. Glaycorn, that, Ms. Kruger here admitted, on 6/24, everything that I've done correctly and I still haven't received them? Can we please not go down this rabbit hole? It is not good for my condition. My adjustment disorder, I am being fed more disorder by a doctor.
Mr. Garza,
Yes,
what I have
Dr. Pine.
is that Alice Gleghorn did, in consultation with the city attorney, spoke to the medical records division at San Francisco General Hospital, and then released to me to pass to you the records that you had requested of them.
And which
And
records
so
do these cover?
This is information that they said that these are the records.
I have
that you
4
had to
different
request.
immediate disclosure requests.
Then
Are all 4 going to be in there?
what I advise is that cross-reference what's here with the request releases that you submitted, because I had no access to the releases. That you
Another
requested.
question I have is, I'll do what you're stating, but why am I not allowed to have gone in and gotten these, as I repeatedly tried at San Francisco General, and HIPAA law has been broken against me? I don't want this to be glossed over.
All right. That's not a question that I'm able to answer. You could direct that to the people that you've talked to before.
Mr.
I know one
Garza,
of the.
though, you've been given an answer on that when you've gone to San Francisco General. There's people that are receiving medical treatment inside that hospital, and it's been decided that, and it's been very clear as far as your outpatient medical treatment and also in the hospital.
Outpatient medical treatment, I haven't even been accepted as a patient. I've been denied emergency care. And here is the HIPAA law. Can you please show me? Because they've stated to me that I'm violating HIPAA law. And every time I've asked, They've not been able to point it out. There, folks, is HIPAA law. Please, please, before you continue to set my disorder off more with incorrect information and expecting me to swallow it willy-nilly,
Mr.
please
Garza,
point out the law.
I'm not gonna be going through some big booklet trying to find something.
Oh, but you're going to give me incorrect law interpretation and everything else and expect for me to swallow it as the CIT officer and as the psych liaison for the San Francisco Police Department.
Would you like to have your medical records? Yes or no?
Yes, I've always wanted to have my medical records.
How about we focus in on that?
As long as we focus in on the accountability of me
And
not
then-
having received it, in addition, madam, so it's not a whitewash. Now, as I said before, are these all my medical records for the denial of emergency services on 4/30, which she was there, 7/23, 7/29, and what I had priorly
Mr.
requested to the
Garza?
IDR?
Dr. Pine already said he doesn't know for sure because he didn't see your request. So we have the records, you'll have to review them yourself.
I
to
shall.
find
Thank
out.
you for giving them to me.
Oh, he needs a little something from.
I'm not
you.
signing a HIPAA release form. We'll go
Okay.
down to San Francisco General and pick them up then, madam. I've told you a million times I'm not
We don't-
signing
we
a
don't-
HIPAA release
We
form.
don't have to have the signature.
Thank you.
All I wanted to do is that
Thank you.
it's preferred in this situation that you provide the signature. but
Oh,
if
here's
you-
the HIPAA law.
but-
Please
but
show me where it's
Mr.
preferred, Dr.
Mr.
Pine.
Mr. Garza.
Please, Dr. Pine, here's the HIPAA law. Show me where it's
What-
preferred.
what I will do-
Here's the HIPAA law. I am
Mr.
tired of
Garza.
you feeding me lies.
Here are your records.
Thank you.
Mr.
Thank you. Thank you, audience. I hope you're paying attention. Go ahead, please.
Like I said the last time when you were lurking behind that door and jumped up and started videotaping me.
Oh, you mean when you ran out on me on 7/28, the mad dash, where everybody told me you weren't here, only to find out that you were?
No, that is not what I'm talking about.
Oh, then what are you talking about?
So, long story short, what my point is right now is if we're not able to accomplish something, then we shouldn't be meeting. And if you're just gonna barrage a whole bunch of stuff at us about what we are not doing, I don't understand where we're accomplishing anything.
Madam, I can say the
So-
same thing. If you're going to give me a barrage of incorrect
Okay,
law,
then we
not
should-
be helpful, I will continue to follow up on that, and I will continue to escalate, and yes, I will continue to come to you. Now,
Okay.
let us go forward. Here is, your resume off the internet. Can you please describe your job title and job function as a CIT officer, somebody I'm supposed to trust, and as the psych liaison? Please, because at this point, everything that you have done to me has been totally incorrect and everything else. Here it is. Can you please explain to me your job title? What is a CIT officer's duties, madam?
You've already read all about it, so you.
So please explain to me.
That's okay.
Of course, you're going to demur, aren't you? Because you know that I am correct. And you are feeding me more disorder as the CIT person and as the psych liaison by not, are you going to ask me how this is a police matter? Please, for the YouTube audience, can you please go ahead and ask me again how this is a police matter as the CIT officer?
What is the answer? I think you already think you have an opinion on that, right?
I have the opinion that you've been misleading me, you've been further victimizing, further harming me as the CIT officer, and I believe that the people on YouTube are realizing the games and everything else, because on 6/24, the video where you profuse so much to want to help me and get my medical care, it is now 8/11. In addition, I've also requested that you send me the FBI information that you told everyone on YouTube that the FBI had thought that I was mental. So I still have not received a response from you as to who said that to you at the FBI, the circumstances behind that. Will I not get a response to that in addition?
So how I have responded, Mr. Garza, is that if something is a civil matter, that's when it is not the San Francisco police should be handling it. If you feel you're having a denial of medical treatment, and then I talk with the public health department and they explain to me that you actually can get medical treatment, then that's all that I can do. So I was sincere.
So I can get medical treatment. So then why on 4/30 did you tell me I couldn't?
I did not.
Yes, you did.
So did you?
I have the
did you need
video.
to say anything? Because I'm not going to go back and forth with this.
No, of course
there
not, but
anything-
you're going to dictate to me what I have to accept.
Okay.
So now, will I receive medical treatment? When will I be scheduled for an appointment to start receiving my medical treatment and the videotaping of it? Or is it going to be more months that are going to go by without me receiving this, Dr. Pine?
I will resend the information.
I don't want
but
you to
for the-
resend the
Mr.
information.
Garza,
Email me. like I asked you to originally, so we have a documented trail.
My privacy officer had advised me not to communicate any information regarding referrals via email.
No, there's
but
no
I will-
referrals, sir. I want to set up an appointment to start receiving the treatment, not a referral to go somewhere and that can fall through. No, sir. That was what was discussed repeatedly on 6/24. And yes, whether your privacy officer or not does not want it, you're circumventing my rights, and I'm asking you to provide that
So just-
for contact.
Just a sec, do you want medical or psychiatric treatment?
I want the full gambit. That's what I
Okay.
said last
So-
time.
So we could just verbally tell him right now what clinic he could drop in.
And video record the receipt of my treatment?
That would be, I wouldn't think that they will allow you to videotape.
Well, then
at
you're
the
not. You're
facility.
sending me down a dead-end alley.
Well,
That's the point that I was here on
Miss-
6/24 about.
Mr.
Was it not,
Garza?
Dr. Pine?
Mr. Garza, it's your choice whether you have the videotape rolling.
Thank
or
you.
not.
If it is my choice, then I choose to do it, so can I receive my care? Thank you for admitting that it is my choice, that it's not illegal, that it's not against the law, and that this is a ruse. Thank you.
That is
Now,
not-
can I
okay.
please
Mr. Garza,
have
you're
an appointment to
talking-
receive?
You're talking very loudly, and because you are a more than capable person, you can set up your own medical treatment.
Oh, like the
Okay.
times I've gone in and been denied? That's not true, madam, and
So-
the viewers here on YouTube see it.
Okay.
So should I go and try and be denied and then come back to you and show you that it didn't work?
But-
Because
but-
I'll do that happily, repeatedly.
But remember that would turn into a civil matter. and
No,
I'm
madam.
not
No, madam.
understanding-
You're the CIT officer.
I'm
What
not
is
a-
your job description, madam? You were not there for, Mr. Negeto's death? Are you not here as a CIT officer to de-escalate crises, especially with people who need mental help? Aren't you the person who, advocated for Laura's Law so that we could all get help? What is your function, madam?
I have all sorts of functions that would be.
So what
too
is your
long to
job
explain
description,
them all.
please?
So I sincerely.
You will not answer my
Mr.
questions?
Garza, I sincerely would like to help you, but.
I do
it's-
not
but it-
believe that
but
if you're
it-
not going to answer my
But it's
questions.
difficult to help when you're not listening and.
I've heard, I've asked the question, you've not
Okay.
answered.
So-
Could you
so-
please answer the
we're
question?
gonna say
I'm
our-
listening for the answer.
Mr. Garza, we're gonna say our goodbyes unless we can actually have a conversation. I'm not, this, talking over me is not working.
I will just wait till you're done and then I'll ask my questions. Please, go ahead. We'll have a conversation.
So, as you well know, when you go to clinics, often what ends up happening is they say you can't have your recorder. Yes or no? They say you can't record inside the clinic.
Can I speak now? The answer is yes, that's what they say. When I ask them to point out what the law is, they don't because there's no such law. Is that correct?
I'm not there, so I'm not gonna speak on an incident where I wasn't present. So I'm not gonna say correct or incorrect on that.
So you don't know what the law is as far as my being able to receive care and the videotaping of it.
That isn't what I said. You were asking me about a situation.
So am I allowed to videotape the receipt of my health care then? I'll ask you more specifically. And if I'm not, can you quote me the law that says I can't?
So I don't know the exact title number, but it is under the Hipaa because other people have the right for privacy.
I have the HIPAA law right here,
And
madam. Can you show it to me?
Mr. Garza, when I reviewed your videotapes on YouTube one time, and you had videotaped in your clinic, I saw other folks there that were receiving medical treatment, and that's where the issue of.
Madam, madam,
arose.
please, may I interject something now? Quite civilly and having a conversation?
Yes.
That is a false argument. They were not receiving their medical treatment. They were in the private area. The medical treatment that they would be receiving would be behind closed doors. That is a false premise on your part. It's a beautiful mislead, but it is not the truth.
Well, unfortunately, the way that it's been seen through the city attorney's office is it's not okay for you to videotape because they are there receiving medical treatment. And you've also had your camera where people, where the staff has been working on their computers and there's information on the screen. And so, and I know that you know that that's not okay because people do. have
And
the
that's
right-
exactly why I don't do it, madam.
So-
So, that is exactly false and a red herring.
Mr. Garza, I saw it on your YouTube videos of where there were screens. So the bottom line is until we can figure out how you can get medical treatment and you have your videotape rolling, we're gonna be at a standoff. And
So
that's-
does that mean that I'm not going to receive medical treatment even if I'm in dire need? Does that mean that since I've asked for this, especially under my disability and ADA access, programmatic access to videotape, in addition to the fact that it's not illegal?
Yeah.
And everyone has known this for over a year and a half now, that the city attorney still has not responded to that.
Mr.
I'd like
Garza?
for this to be on the record.
Mr. Garza,
Yes,
it
ma'am.
is your choice.
It is my choice to
Yes.
continue to
So-
do what is correct and
So
I'm
we
legally
have-
entitled to.
We have about 5 minutes, so
Okay.
what would you like to do with those?
I would like to be taken to a clinic to receive my medical treatment and videotape the receipt of it.
Okay, that's not gonna happen.
All right, so if I go to a clinic and they deny me, I come back to you and follow up.
Yes.
Thank you, I will do that. So are you not going to set up an appointment for me to get treatment, Dr. Pine, and videotape the receipt of it?
I would need to send you information about a clinic, clinics that might be available to you.
So that's
So
not
that you
setting
can
up an
contact-
appointment for me, it's simply a referral of where to
No,
go.
because to set up an appointment, the
So
people
you
need to
won't be
gather-
setting up an appointment for
People
me?
need to gather information.
So where can we go do
financial
this today, right
information
now?
like that.
Can we go down with, can I go down with you so that people can gather the information and I can videotape that and continue with this? Or will you just send me something through the mail with, there'll be a referral where I'll be denied even the entrance to videotape and everything else, and this process will just drag on?
Well, the videotaping, per the advisement of our privacy officer and the city attorney, that video recording in a clinical setting, in a clinic setting, is not allowed. That's what I have been advised, so I'm just reiterating.
Thank you,
the advisement.
and what have you been advised as far as programmatic access and me requesting it under that ADA provision?
I have not been told that that's allowed.
Have you been told that it's disallowed under that provision?
I have not specifically been told either way regarding that, your particular reasoning for the request. But what I have been told repeatedly is that you have been told repeatedly that the video recording or any recording device in a clinic setting, clinical area, where other people have come for care is not allowed.
Even if it's in the public area of the clinic and everything else, is that your representation? Even though it's not videotaping their receipt of treatment or anything else?
Someone presenting to a clinic, by that matter, is that should be protected.
That is your opinion. However, that's not what Hipaa law states, and you haven't been able to show me where in Hipaa law it states your opinion, even though I've
Well,
repeatedly pointed it out.
That's
Okay.
why I leave this information and the going through of this to the people who are the subject matter experts, which are the city attorney and the privacy officers.
That is correct, and this
So,
is the
so
same,
Mr.
hold on,
Garza,
can
we're
I
down-
please
we're
finish?
down to 2
May I-
minutes. We're
good.
down to 2
And is this
minutes,
the
so-
same city attorney who I took to federal court and had my case dismissed for denial of emergency services only to sign a confession 4 years later, and who's never come clean nor forward about all that misinterpretation of that incorrect law?
That I don't know because I'm not.
Would you like to
I'm
see
not
the
gonna be-
settlement agreement?
I'm not going to be able to answer that question.
Well, I believe that the YouTube viewers can go to my own private Guantanamo to realize that the answer is correct, that this is the same city attorney, and that I still have not been responded to under Section 632 or the HIPAA request that I've asked for, specifically stating his incorrect interpretation. So where do we go from here?
Well, you said that you were gonna try to access medical treatment on your own, and if you're denied, you'll come back and let me know. I really would appreciate an appointment, because as you do know, I'm not often here. So instead of a big power struggle happening, if we could do it with an email, setting up something so that the folks.
Well, that depends,
the folks
because
at
every
my
time that I've
office-
emailed you to set up an appointment, I've had to come in and follow up because you've not emailed me back with an appointment time. So that's been another failure on your part, so that
Mr.
depends, and I
Garza?
have the records and the emails that show that.
Okay, Mr. Garza, how did we end up here today then?
How? Well, let's see. Last week when I came in to try to make an appointment with you, you told me you weren't going to, that I was speaking
No,
over you, and you
Mr.
turned around.
Garza.
Can I answer the question,
Well,
madam? I
I-
believe I have the floor now.
I emailed you a date and time, and that's how we ended up here.
No, madam, that is
short
after
version.
the fact and after the video, which is here on YouTube for everyone to see.
Okay.
So, no, madam, that is not the whole truth. You did mail me an email after you walked away from me, after you left me no option, and after I posted the video of me coming in and trying to set up an appointment.
That is not why this happened, though, just for the record. That is not why this happened. I didn't email you back when you emailed because you didn't email any potential times of us meeting.
I believe that the emails viewers are posted in the description area of the YouTube videos for people to see.
We're gonna wrap it up,
Thank you.
okay?
I will go and I will look for help and I will be back.
Okay.
Because I'm sure that I
But I
will be
really-
illegally denied again.
I
Oh,
would really
and the
appreciate-
same thing with the medical records. If they're not all here, I'll be back to
I
find
really
something here.
appreciate us having an appointment though, so it looks like you lost some of your change on the phone.
That's fine, and I appreciate it that if I email you, you do set up an appointment instead of the mind games that I've had in prior emails.
Okay, it's by your foot, a couple of quarters.
So, you know, I will continue to do the right thing and document
Okay,
and go forward from here.
sounds good.
I hope so. I was hoping that you'd take me down to San Francisco General to get
Yeah.
health care today, but
Would you mind stepping out
honestly,
of the
at this
room?
point, I'm not surprised once again.
Okay, but you have the medical records with you.
I don't know that. I haven't checked it.
Okay.
I haven't verified. No, that's an allegation. Okay, folks, you've seen I was not taken down to get medical care. I didn't have to sign a HIPAA release. Why is that, and why is it that every time I've tried to go in to receive my medical records, that hasn't been allowed if I didn't have to sign a HIPAA release? Has HIPAA law been broken? These are just interesting questions that need to be asked, and I thank you for the opportunity. Supposedly, these are my medical records. Why didn't I receive them when I initially asked for them if, I didn't have to sign for them and I haven't done anything incorrectly? Could the same thing be going on now with, me requesting my medical care and the videotaping of it, and being fed incorrect law? It's a question that I think you guys have to continue to look up.